The village was drowning in men. By the time my sister came of age, she was the only woman left. The moment she was old enough, she bore 6 children to wild men. The men of the village, without exception, doted on her. They were all waiting with bated breath for the birth of her 7th child. This 7th child would also be her last. My sister was wanton, involved with many of the men in the village. She had barely reached adulthood before bearing 6 children to them. My father never disciplined her, he even helped her raise them. Strangely, it was as if my sister didn't need to recover from childbirth. One moment she was giving birth, the next she was fooling around with some other man again. My father spent his days gathering Ganoderma mushrooms from the back mountain to brew wine for her. After drinking it, my sister's face would always be flushed and radiant. "This wine is so potent, Father. I want more." Hearing this, I would cast an envious glance her way. My father completely ignored me, smiling at my sister. "Good, however much you want to drink, Father will brew it for you." The villagers were very good to my sister. At first, I suspected it was because our village had too many men and too few women. But then, one day when my sister was out, I found my father placing her photograph on an altar and lighting incense before it. "Oh, great mountain god, are you pleased with this vessel?" he murmured. "I will certainly find more men for her, to bring about the birth of the 7th child as soon as possible." Only then did I understand. My sister was a sacrifice for the arrival of the mountain god. I froze, my father's words making the hair on my arms stand on end. As I stared at my sister's photo, he continued to speak to himself. "When the day of the rite comes, once we have gathered 7 children, we can resurrect the great mountain god. By then, not only will wealth flow in, but immortality will be within our grasp. All it requires is a small price." "A price?" My foot faltered, stepping on a plastic bag with a sharp crackle. In an instant, my father's pure black eyes met mine. After that day, my father entrusted my sister's children to me. While I rocked their cradles, my sister lay beneath the bodies of men, lost in indulgence. When a baby cried, she would look on with disgust and tell me to take it away. Remembering what I had seen, I couldn't help but try to reason with her. "Be careful when you're with these men. Don't get pregnant again." Who knew that not only would she not appreciate my warning, but she would leap from the bed and slap me hard across the face. "I know what I'm doing. It's not your place to speak in this house." My cheek swelled, red and burning. My sister pointed at the men behind her. "Do you believe I'll have them kill you?" I was surrounded by them. My sister laughed wildly as the men kicked my knees hard. I knelt on the ground, my face twisted in pain, while she happily climbed onto a man, begging for a kiss. Seeing she was beyond reason, my lips moved. "Then I wish you the swift birth of a precious child, and a house full of sons and grandsons." My father found out that I had tried to persuade my sister. When he learned I had told her not to have any more children, he wasn't angry at all. Instead, he asked me quietly, "What's wrong? You can't bear to lose her?" The question stunned me. My sister had been so lovely as a child, always trailing behind me, calling me brother. How could I watch her die? I can't bear to see her die. My father's face was stern as he handed me a jug of the Ganoderma wine. "Have a drink." I was touched, but the Ganoderma was for my sister, to nourish her body. It would be a waste for me to drink it. My father withdrew the jug and took a sip himself. "Your sister," she is a willing participant." My eyes widened in disbelief. Seeing this, my father softened his voice. "Don't worry. I wouldn't lie to you." I nodded, half convinced. But if my sister was truly willing, why did my father only light incense to her photo when she wasn't around? The next day, I went to the county town to buy milk powder for the babies. As soon as I entered the store, I felt a gaze fixed on the back of my head. I spun around, and a withered face was only inches from mine. My pupils trembled. I was frozen stiff with terror. The man stared straight at me. "What god do you worship on the altar in your home?" We don't worship anything." My family's altar held my sister's photo, not some mountain god. I found the man deeply unsettling and lied instinctively. "You are tainted with a malevolent aura. Take this peachwood sword. It will protect you from the erosion of dark energy." I took the peachwood sword, still skeptical. "Just call me Master Huang. If it's not the mountain god you worship, then it must be your sister, correct?" He knew even that. It seemed he really did have some skill. But this was a family matter, not something to be shared with an outsider. My heart sank. "My family's affairs have nothing to do with you." A strange smile appeared on Master Huang's withered face. "If your sister dies, you will be next." Me? I had secretly read my father's notes. Summoning the mountain god required a woman. "Don't you dare speak such nonsense here." As soon as the words left my mouth, Master Huang vanished without a trace, as if he had never been there at all. For generations, the village had worshipped the mountain god. Every family except mine. Legend had it that receiving the mountain god's blessing would not only prevent the body from decay and grant long life, but also bring wealth and many children. The villagers had become frenzied in their prayers for the god's arrival. But the method of summoning was extremely harsh, and because of it, all the women in the village had died out. Only my sister was left. When I returned from the store, the group of men hadn't left. They were throwing themselves at my sister like madmen. I was about to intervene but saw that my sister had no intention of resisting. "Everyone, move aside and let me cherish her properly. If she carries my child, I guarantee you will all be rewarded when the mountain god arrives." The men began to argue, possessed by a frenzy. My sister gave a seductive smile. "Don't fight. There's time for everyone, one by one." Hearing this, I closed my eyes. So it was true. She was willing. They had planned this all along. Soon, my sister was pregnant again. When her time was near, all the village doctors gathered at our house. The men who had been with my sister bound her tightly with ropes as thick as a man's arm. A doctor took a pair of scissors and cut open her belly. My sister screamed in agony. "Father! Father! It hurts." At a time like this, how could my father possibly save her? "Don't be afraid. Endure it for a moment, and the pain will stop." His voice was cold. "Didn't we agree on this? You were willing, were you not?" His gaze turned to ice as the doctor swiftly used forceps to pull the infant out. My sister's eyes were wide with pain and a look of unwillingness. My father took the baby, completely ignoring my sister's life or death. After delivering the child, the village doctors followed my father into our ancestral hall. A cold wind gusted, blowing the window open with a creak. My sister, barely breathing, began to crawl toward me. She looked like she was about to die. My lips were pale. Master Huang's words flashed through my mind. If your sister dies, you will be next. With trembling hands, I took a needle and thread and sewed up my sister's belly. After giving birth to her seventh child, it was as if all the life had been sucked out of her. She was a desiccated husk, just skin stretched over bone. My father entered with the village chief. When the chief saw my sister's changed appearance, his expression shifted drastically. Quick, kill a chicken and splash its blood on her. My father, his heart hardened, slaughtered all the livestock we owned. He was stained with the foul stench of blood. A layer of chicken blood was poured over my sister's body, and it seemed to be absorbed instantly, her skin becoming plump and smooth again. Then, her body began to contort as she started to gnaw on raw pork. After eating, her gaze locked onto me. It seemed that in the next second, she would leap up and tear me to shreds. A wave of goosebumps broke out across my skin. I was terrified. My legs felt weak, and I wanted to flee. A hand suddenly clapped my shoulder from behind. I turned, my face white with fear, to see Master Huang, who had somehow appeared in my house. He stuck a yellow talisman to my forehead, and I followed him instinctively. That thing was about to eat you just now, he said. His words confirmed that my feeling had not been my imagination. My sister truly wanted to eat me. Master Huang, thank you. I felt a profound sense of security next to him. Master Huang glanced at me. You are lucky to be alive. Because he had just saved me, I was immensely grateful. I wanted him to help me, so I told him everything I knew. My father said that after my sister gives birth, they can summon the mountain god. The village chief saw this method on a stone tablet in the mountains. Let's go, take me to see it. Master Huang was agitated, eager to pull me along. I frowned. Wait, I need to get the peachwood sword. Master Huang hesitated, clearly anxious. I'll be right back, I said, seeing his urgency. I ran back into the house. My father shoved the newborn infant at me. This child is your responsibility now. I was silent for a moment, then said, I need to go to the back mountain. The village chief heard this and stared at my body. The back mountain is not a place just anyone can go. Especially you. Especially me? To be safe, I fetched the peachwood sword Master Huang had given me. This thing wards off evil. The village chief studied the sword for a long time. Is there something special about this sword? I asked. He didn't answer. Instead, he suddenly bit his finger. Chief, what are you doing? I watched in shock as his blood dripped onto the peachwood sword. The chief patted my head. There. This will make it foolproof. You can go now. I held the sword, my eyes flickering with uncertainty. By the time we reached the back mountain, the light had faded from the sky. Master Huang and I knelt before the stone tablet. The visibility was so low that the inscription was difficult to read. Master Huang wiped the stone with his withered fingers, and I could barely make out a few words. Use the womb of the last woman of this place to gestate 7 children, and the mountain god will manifest, granting all in this village immortality and vast wealth. If the woman dies, a god of slaughter will emerge. There seemed to be more characters after that, but Master Huang's body blocked them from my view. I couldn't see. Master Huang, what does the rest say? He didn't move. Instead, he put his arm around my shoulder. It's useless for you to know. You don't understand these things. It's better not to see too much. I didn't argue, just nodded. As I was about to leave, I smelled an incredibly foul stench. I covered my nose and turned to see Master Huang flailing at the air as if fighting a great enemy. I was baffled. "Quick, use your peachwood sword and strike the stone tablet," he yelled. Only then did I notice a gray mist had enveloped the tablet. I swung the sword doubtfully. Ah, a piercing shriek made my hand tremble, and the peachwood sword fell to the ground. The gray mist dissipated. I didn't dare move again. "Master Huang, help me pick up the sword." His face darkened slightly. "Pick up your own sword." I bent down to retrieve it, and as I stood up, I caught a glimpse of fear in his eyes that he failed to hide in time. This was the sword he had given me. What was he afraid of? Could it be because of the blood the village chief had dripped on it? When I returned to the village, my sister was becoming less and less human. Sometimes she would just grab one of the chickens and start chewing on it, her mouth full of feathers. I didn't know if her consciousness was still intact. When the chief and my father were away, I told her, "The day the mountain god appears, you will surely die." My sister stared blankly for a moment, then lunged at me, baring her teeth and biting me hard. Ignoring the pain, I said, "You can still run." It was true, I didn't want her to die. I told her what I had read in my father's notes. She retorted, "Everything you're saying is a lie." She was agitated, and her attacks grew more violent. Luckily, the village chief arrived just in time to restrain her with a rope. After tying her up, he leaned close to me and sniffed. "What a horrible smell! What did you run into on the back mountain?" The village chief was inseparable from what my sister had become. Because of that, I had no intention of telling him the truth. I fell into a latrine pit. He pinched his nose, his face full of disdain. "Go take a bath immediately." As I was about to wash, I bumped into my father. He looked at me. "Why did you lie?" I remained silent. "The chief, he doesn't seem like a good person." My father paused for a long moment, then sighed. "From now on, be careful around the villagers. Stay vigilant." My footsteps faltered. "Including you, father?" My father frowned and took a drink of the Ganoderma wine. "I'm your father. Would I ever harm you?" No parent would ever harm their own child. I thought to myself that a man who could sacrifice his own daughter to a mountain god could certainly say he wouldn't harm me. It was laughable. Even Master Huang's words seemed more truthful than his. I gave a perfunctory nod and went to wash. But the foul smell clung to me. I was sitting on my bed, feigning sleep, when a grating creak pierced the night with a particular terror. I carefully opened my eyes and saw Master Huang climbing in through my window. "How did you get targeted by an evil entity?" I went rigid. I hadn't been anywhere except the back mountain. How could I be targeted? Was it my father? I forced myself to remain calm. "You must be mistaken." Master Huang brusquely rolled up my sleeve, revealing the bite mark my sister had given me. "You mean, her?" He spoke with grave importance. "Your sister has already been chosen as a vessel for the mountain god. Now that you've been bitten, I fear your chances are slim. If your sister dies, you will become her replacement." Master Huang walked around my house and saw the wine my father had brewed. "This Ganoderma, it's a powerful tonic. If you drink it, your wound will heal, and you'll be fine." I accepted a cup of the wine, but hesitated. Master Huang seemed to notice. "What are you afraid of?" The wine and the Ganoderma are both good things. I thought what he said made sense. My father drank it often. My sister recovered quickly after drinking it. A little couldn't hurt me. I raised the cup and drank it all in one gulp. The Ganoderma wine spilled all over me. After Master Huang left, the smell of the wine clung to my whole body. I gazed at the photo on the altar. Tonight was the night of the sacrifice. My father smelled the wine on me and flew into a rage. Who told you to touch the Ganoderma wine? There's more than just Ganoderma and wine in there. Do you want to become like your sister? A desiccated beast. I was horrified. Then what should I do? I had never imagined my sister was now a beast. I started to panic. My father sighed and sliced open his thumb with a knife. He dabbed a drop of blood onto the center of my forehead. Remember, you cannot wipe this off before midnight. I nodded meekly. My father gave me a solemn look, then left my room, pulling the door shut behind him. The moonlight outside dimmed. I didn't know why, but my head felt dizzy and heavy. I remembered Master Huang telling me the Ganoderma wine was a powerful tonic, but my father said it was not to be drunk carelessly. He had even used his own blood to save me. By my calculation, the sacrifice must be over by now. Before I could think any further, I fell into a deep sleep. When I opened my eyes, my surroundings had changed. The room was pitch black, without a single light on, nor even a window. As my mind raced, the door opened and the village chief walked in. The chief said, "You have something dirty on your forehead. Let me wipe it off for you." "Don't, chief." The blood on my forehead was placed there by my father to protect me. The fact that the chief wanted to wipe it off immediately sent a shiver down my spine. I tried to edge away from him. I couldn't help but suspect he meant to harm me. Just as I was about to test him, I was hit by a thick, putrid smell. I pinched my nose. "Chief, do you smell something?" He tilted his head and smiled. "Nope." "Oh?" That didn't sound like the chief at all. A sense of unease washed over me. Chief, why am I at your house?" "Oh, you were sleepwalking. You came over all by yourself." I was astonished. How could I have been sleepwalking? I looked at him in disbelief. The chief just smiled and patted my shoulder. A young person's body is so much better to look at, oh. The moment he touched me, a feeling of deep discomfort spread through my body. I blurted out nonsensically, "Better than an old fossil's body like yours." Hearing this, the chief pulled a small knife from his back pocket, a strange look on his face. "Enough nonsense, oh. The sacrifice today failed. So, it's your turn."